Hello. How are we today on this Monday the 27th? Can you imagine or even realize? It is almost March. It's almost March. That means we're almost going to be a quarter way through 2003. How you doing today? I hope you're doing well, good, great, and everything else in between those words. What be happening? Hey John, great to have you here. Welcome back. Welcome back as well, Tanya. Good to have you here. Hello to you. Good afternoon. Welcome, my friend. You're new here. Or at least I'm alive. Did I say 2003? Did I? What year is it? Did I say 2003? 2023. Almost a quarter way through. Who is it? Who is it? In my group somewhere. Your first name's not Facebook, second name user. The Grim Grim is here. Hello, hello to you, my friend. How's the weekend teaching? It was great. So I taught Friday to Sunday. And we finished off yesterday teaching hypnosis. So we taught people how to induce trance by just looking at them. With a couple of words, but just looking at them. So you're like, look into the eyes. So we went to the, not the hardest one, but the most uncomfortable one. Because I gave them the option. I said, look, do you want an easy one, a so-so middle one, or more of a harder one? And they all said, because they're all super confident now, they wanted the hardest one. So I did a demonstration of that. And then they all did the exercise and loved it. So it's really good. Teaching hypnosis is amazing. Like, I love teaching the NLP and so on, but hypnosis is good. And they were all amazing at it. So a successful weekend. One more weekend to go. And then we'll be unleashing certified NLP practitioners, hypnotists, coaches into the world to spread the ripples. And time is just a construct, right? Time doesn't exist. Hey, Johnny, welcome. New here too? Yeah, new. Ah, it's Lynn, Superstar Lynn. I was editing today's replay. And I saw you there, so that was good. Hey, my wonderful another superstar. All the way in Australia. Welcome. Exactly, spreading the ripples. That, to me, is what has to be done. It's good. My wires. They felt weird. Hey Gina, great to have you on the live stream as well. Welcome. See the numbers are popping up. But yeah, we just ran a certified NLP practitioner. Or part of it. One more leg to go. And I won't be talking about how much I've worked this time. Okay. But if I can just get it to the end of this weekend, we're good to go. But what, did you do anything nice at the weekend? It was raining pretty much all day anyway. Saturday. When I was teaching. Or was it Friday? Saturday and Friday, maybe. We had a ton of rain in San Diego. California. Other good news is the little Sebastian. I got word that he is doing good and great. I don't know if I want to be... Can I be... Oh my goodness, not... Right, what can we do here? I got to send a picture of him. What do I do? Shift? Command? 4. I don't know if this will work. Well, you've had your fair share of rain in the last 6 months, right? But yeah, we had a ton of rain, but we got a lot of snow as well. I don't know if it's going to work. This might ruin the whole stream. Ah, almost. Look, there's the little Sebastian. He's got a bandana. I can't resize it very well. Oh no. What do I do? But there he is. I just got to send this picture. Okay, I'm scared I'm going to do something wrong. But that's little Sebastian. He got his eye checkup just about an hour ago. And his eye pressure is down to normal. Therefore, he doesn't have to have his eye meds that he was having quite often a day. So that's really good news. Good news. Well, the little Sebastian, eye surgery success so far. And Thursday he has his cone off. He's had to have his cone for like 2.5 weeks, I'd say now. Aphantasia? Let me know what that is. I'd have to search it. I'm not always good at technical words. I know you've got like all the different phobias, like emetophobia or emetophobia, depending how you say it. Give me some more information. Yeah, it's been pretty chilly. It's been pretty chilly for me. In England, it's been chilly, I know that. Well, welcome. Yeah, you saw the pic. I'm just catching up with the comments. Yeah, well, he's on the mend. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. His eyes... he was going to go blind without the surgery. I actually read today that losing their eyesight is like us losing our hearing. Right? Because they use more smell and sounds. So even with a diminished eyesight, which he should be fine definitely in one eye, he's going to be fine. So I found that interesting. I know, it might be a part of him. But he is on the mend. Hey D, great to have you here. Welcome. Thank you ever so much. So, can't visualize. Is that what that meant? Well, let me scroll up. Aphantasia. Is that the inability to visualize? I'm not a good visualizer. And it doesn't really matter. Because we are either more kinesthetic or auditory. But anyone can visualize. Anyone can visualize. It's more the inability to consciously construct a visualization or a visual. So if I say, go ahead and imagine yourself walking down a pathway, going into trance, I can't see that. But you will daydream and you will visualize. I'm sure of it. But I have to look into it. But yeah, one way you do it is by what we call, I'm going to make it up, we just kind of call linking, where you talk about the kinesthetic first, like feelings, and go to sounds. And then that can create the visuals. Like one of the examples is, if you could be at a beach and feel how I'm going to do it very quick. your feet are in the sand, you'd feel that texture. Let's say you're more kinesthetic feelings. And as you kind of feel your feet in the sand, you may even be able to hear how the sand makes a noise, or even the ocean waves and the breeze. And then you'd start to introduce more visuals, because you're accessing their primary representational system, which could be, say, kinesthetic feelings, and then leading them up to different rep systems like auditory, sounds, or visual. So you can teach that way. There we go. So that's what I'd suggest. But I don't know it enough, though, unless it's like a specific brain condition. But in general, most people can visualize, but just not consciously construct very well, like me. I don't see that. So thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. Thank you ever so much. Absolutely. I mean, he's getting on, but he's alive and kicking, even with the one eye. Yeah, I don't tend to use too much visuals. I do use some, but it's purely from my own experience. For any time a meditation was like walk down a garden path, I was like, I can't sit. There's no garden path. So I tend not to. Thank you. Interesting. I know there's some conditions about that as well. Yeah. Well, memory's a bad thing. Memory's like the worst in terms of like evidence. Because we delete, distort, and generalize, especially if someone is like, they're trying to get a description of someone who did something bad. They're under stress, so the brain will delete, distort, and generalize that situation. And that means you can have 5 people saying different things. And that is also why they don't use hypnosis as evidence in, like, say, court cases, because it won't be like valid evidence, because they know that the brain is very lucid when it comes to the memories. Like, we can exaggerate things. Like, one of the examples I think of is, like, I looked up one of my childhood homes, like growing up, and I looked at the pictures. I was like, has the house shrunk? Those rooms are so much smaller. But no, I was just like 7 years old. Of course, from that perspective, everything was that bit bigger. So memories in general are not very good for evidence, because we do tend to distort a lot of information. But also, going back to that question, depending on how biological it is, I mean, I still believe we can make changes. But if you go through different representational systems, or switching things up, talking about the kinesthetics, the feelings, and the sounds first, you can slowly introduce visuals, and it trains the brain to do that. So you can do it, I'm sure. And that's only if you want to, right? Some people think they've got to visualize to change. You don't have to visualize anything to change. You can change anyhow you want. But there you go. Hopefully that helped. So yeah, the brain can make, unconscious mind can make decisions, right? Like, it will repress events if we've been under some form of trauma to keep us safe, but then it presents itself for resolution. So yeah, I mean, if people have gone through traumatic events, they can find it hard to recall certain bits of information because they were under stress, and therefore the brain's like, or the unconscious mind, same kind of thing really. We need to keep you safe. Like, time's a healer. So therefore, over time, that person may recall more information. I've never watched The Mentalist. I know of it, though. Isn't it like an Australian guy? Or at least looks Australian to me. Exactly, right? Like, it's amazing how we distort our experiences. And that's not even under stress. So just think what it's like when we're under pressure. If we're in an intense amount of fear. Yeah, the fight and flight. And I'd also add the middle, freeze, like the deer in headlights. I think that's the worst one. Because when your neurology is in a state of freeze, in my opinion, we make decisions at a biological level. Oh, there we go. I can visualize that when you said it of the person, but I'm not a very good visual person. But I know of him. So I was pretty much right. Thought I was right. I'll take it back. I was right. Hey Sue, great to have you back as well. Saying hi. Ironically, when you were doing the health and healing session last Wednesday, I was having emergency surgery for a stomach obstruction. So your vibes came my way. Recovery in progress and on target. Well, that is awesome. So pleased that you, my friend, are on the healing. There we go. You get some of that. You saw my yellow chair, but I just kicked it out the way or spun it round. But congratulations, lots of healing to you. Keep listening to the track, and also any other healing track I have on the app. Get the app, download it, utilize it, all those things. But today we are going to be doing episode 797. So we're going to have 800 free episodes next week. Next week. I think on the app I have some memory. I know I've got learning and revision. If not, I'll have to include creating a track in the future. I've got like a big list that everyone kind of sends me. And everyone's like, you have to record this. Everyone is experiencing this. Like, so everyone's saying they're experiencing everything. I only have so much time to record the tracks, and I've done like hundreds of them, where it be for free. So you got to be gentle sometimes when it comes to that. But I think I have. Oh, I've got a free memory one. So, Donna. No, I'll show you. I will show you. I hope I'm right here. I hope I have remembered correctly. Let me just see. Look at this. Look at this. So if you go onto the app, and I know I need to charge my phone, you type in memory on the free section, and you got memory recall and memory hypnosis for sleep. Yeah, it's a free one. So you got two there within the app. I wonder if I got a paid one. Let's just see if I got memory. None on the memory, but I know I've got learning and revision. If that helps memory. And then you can flick it over to a night form for a nighttime one. So that will definitely help. That will definitely help that one, but you also got the free one. So yeah, you're most welcome. Try and do as many free things as possible. Just takes a bit of time. Yeah, 800. 800. Awesome. So pleased. I'm so pleased you're well. You're on the mend. Did I say hello to you, Michelle? If not, I do apologize. Welcome. I was late in replying to you. There we go. I got 4-hour hypnosis sessions, which will be going onto the app as well in the future. Do I have a memory one for sleep? I don't know. But on YouTube, because they're big files, so I can do it on YouTube right now, go to my channel, and you'll see lots of 4-hour sleep hypnosis. You are most welcome. I see, you just got to remember to listen. right? You gotta remember to listen. Yeah, those free ones will help with recall. Yeah, get into those sleep ones. So you need a procrastination one then. You need a procrastination one. If anyone says, like, I'm indecisive, you always say, when did you decide that? When did you decide to be indecisive? And they're like, what? That doesn't make sense. I'm like, that's right. So you may as well decide not to be indecisive. Okay. You just didn't decide at all. Yeah, we got procrastination one as well on the track. On the app. Hey Samantha, great to have you here. Welcome back. Hope you are well. It's good to see you back as well. What should we do for episode 800? Can we do anything for 800? What's a good celebration? Do we need a celebration? Do we just go crazy and just do the whole stream like this? Just the whole stream, me going, hey, episode 800. Do we? Do we invite our friends? What do we do? Do we just celebrate? What do we do? I have no idea. What are we gonna do? Yeah, I like the pigeons. I had to do each one individually, like put them, make them smaller and things. It was funny. I like how they just move. I should do hypnosis like this as well. So go ahead and go into trance. 3, 2, 1, you're under. Oh, how cool is that? They stopped at the moment I said 3, 2, 1, you're under. You forgot to close your eyes. I think I forgot to loop the video. There we go. Now the video will loop itself. So now it will loop. The good old pigeons. Hey Rosella, great to have you here. Welcome back as well. If anyone's new here, please go ahead and let me know. Go ahead and let me know. Like these little friends. Which doesn't seem quite like a self-development hypnosis YouTube channel. Yeah, how about bringing more celebration into our lives? I like that. That's a good one. Get into that gratitude. We'll cover that a little bit today as well. But yeah, 800 coming our way on Monday. We could have a talk session. We could do that. Bit of a Q&A maybe. Yep, there we go. Adding on. Persistence. That's a good one, right? 800 episodes. That's crazy. 800. Let's just say they're roughly half hour. They'll be less than that. But let's just say that's 400 hours of free help. Or say it's obviously just 800. That's many days. Listen to one a day. You got 800 days of transformation for free. So we've got persistence, celebrating milestones, gratitude, celebrating our lives, and stuff like that. That's all we can do. Or live coaching interventions. How so? I have thought about pulling in people's audio into the live stream, but my main program, like the program I run, because it's all free, we do that anyway. We actually talk one another and kind of connect as a group. Yeah, resilience, persistence, resilience, persistence, celebrating. You have to remember this, by the way, for Monday. Celebrating milestones, however big or small, celebration into our lives, having a talk session, all of those, we can do them now. Yeah, exactly. So my live streams, just because that's just the episode podcast, my live streams, we go on for like an hour and 15 minutes 3 times per week. That's 3 hours 45 minutes of just me talking every single week. How we need a hypnosis session to stop putting us through the pain of listening to me 3 times a week for, and what did I say, 3 hours and 45 minutes or more sometimes. What kind of person are you thinking like, oh my goodness, I've got to listen to this person again? Again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. East Coast, 11 p.m. in the United Kingdom. And somewhere, another time, in another location, time zone. Synchronicities, that's a good one. A level of entanglement of reality. Tuning in. Frequency. Holographic universe. We can do lots of stuff. Hypnosis on how not to listen to hypnosis. But you have to listen to the hypnosis. Or I have to say, listen to this hypnosis to not listen to other hypnosis. Maybe. We need some hypnosis. Duplicity. Hey, John Patrick, great to have you here. Duplicity. What's duplicity? Like duplication? Is that like synchronicity? Is it like... What's the other word like synchronicity? There's a movie about it with John Cusack. I don't know what's it called. Can you remember? Good day to you, my friend. So you're all the way in the future on your Tuesday, probably I'm guessing around 8, 9 or 10 a.m. Wow, 200 episodes. No, it wasn't sliding doors. It was like the word synchronicity. It's my assistant's favorite movie. I cannot remember. No, maybe. Serendipity. Easy for me to say. Serendipity. That's the movie, yeah. Right, that's kind of like synchronicity. Hey, my friend, welcome back. Super late jumping on, was working on a very intense test that is due this Saturday. So if you didn't know, this wonderful person is on my NLP practitioner training, and there is a test. So, good stuff. Feel free not to stay here. The test, being a practitioner, is more important. But you see all your welcomes. Oh my goodness. Wait. We're 30 minutes into the stream and we haven't even started about the topic yet. Can you believe it? Is this all we do now? Just talk and chat? That's why the stream's going for like an hour and a half these days. Hour and 15, hour and a half. Because we just get caught talking about what's that movie? What's this and what's that? Nice. I just remembered there was a question here. Can we be different people for different needs? Yes, in my opinion, right? Who am I? Number one, Joseph Clough. But who else am I? Well, I'm a son to my 2 pets, Mr. Cuddles and Lil Sebastian. I'm a dog father or a cat father too. In the past, when I've been in a relationship, I've been a partner of some kind, like a boyfriend or a husband. I'm also like a hypnotist. I'm also a grandson. Like, we all go into different roles at different times. So we can be different people for different needs. And also different people's needs as well. What is the topic? Can you not see it on the YouTube? How to live an abundant life with or without money. Well, a little bit of money is good as well. Yeah, it's nice for chat. That's what I've liked about doing live streams. I've got to know you equally as much as well, right? And of course, you ask me questions. You have like a bit of an insight into my life with my pets and things growing up. Like, our quizzes were good at Christmas time. I liked our quizzes. We should do another quiz one day, should we? Let me know in the chat. Should we do a quiz? Yeah, we're just chatting as usual. Exactly. Who are we to ourselves? Usually, for most people, not much. And that's the problem. So we should do a quiz. I like the idea of doing a quiz that is the English versus American equivalents of words, because I live in both minds of, that's another thing, right? Who am I? Am I speaking in the words of an American, like the highway compared to the motorway, the pavement or the sidewalk, the path or the sidewalk, the bin or the trash? Like, there's lots of different things. I've always thought it'd be kind of cool to do that. Yeah, that can get a little bit strange. See, I've got a good excuse because I've got the microphone here and you're responding to me, but should the AI be able to transcend identity? So one thing I'll say is I'll only talk about the things I know. I think a lot of people in the world try to talk a lot about things like, I don't know much about politics. I'm not going to talk about politics. I don't know too much about AI. Yeah, I know the whole chat GTP or whatever it is. I've been on it, asked questions. I've got some ideas what I like to do to introduce in my business, but it's way beyond my ability to understand. If that's what you meant. Oh, was that you? You're not talking about AI. Should the idea to be transcendent identity? Oh, we're talking about AI for a moment. So I can talk more about this one than that one. I thought you meant like getting AI conscious. Well, a bit like I was saying to you last time, John. I think it was you. We come into this world blank. We go through stuff. Conflict, resistance. And it causes us to learn and grow if we decide to. Which gives us greater understanding and insight about what life is. And therefore, we overcome that resistance, but we have a greater depth of understanding and learning. Because otherwise, what's the point, right? Meaning of life is finding meaning, living a meaningful life. So getting the meaning from the stuff we go through. That's all good. I thought it was pretty cool that we're talking about AI for a moment. Could do a bit of a quiz. I probably wouldn't put that on the podcast though. Probably wouldn't put a quiz on the podcast. Because there'd be a lot of dead space, where it's easier to have dead space because I'm showing you the comments and everything. I watched someone recently and gave a Maxwell Maltz quote that basically we can't outdo our self-image. We can't outdo our self-image. Well, it's definitely our limitation, right, of what we think we can and cannot do. What was it Henry Ford said? Whether you think you're right or wrong, you are right. So our perception is our projection. Whatever we perceive to be true is true for ourselves. And we define that. What's the other one I was thinking of? It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. Okay, let's get on to the episode. Yeah, exactly. The way I was teaching a little bit on the weekend, I've talked about everyone here or on the podcast before, is imagine there's a pyramid, bottom level is environment, next level is behavior, next level is capacity, next level is belief, the next one's identity. Most people try to change their environment or their behavior, but you don't really change any of that because you just go to a new job, problem's still there. Go to a new relationship, another bad relationship. So they try to change their behavior, doesn't work because it's being governed by their capacity or capabilities, and above that is the beliefs, and above that is our identity. But if you change your identity, that's where you change, because it filters down to I am not good enough, shrinking capacity, shrinking behavior, bad results in our environment. I am good enough, expanded capacity and capabilities, expanded ability to act and react and adapt, and therefore we can go into any environment. That's how I see it. And that's right. Is going to be episode 797. So let's get to it. We're going to have a quick chat afterwards as well, if you would like, but only if you would like. If not, we'll just end the stream. But we are 36 minutes in, so let's get to it. So I might as well just do the cast of it's going to be a short stream, because we know it's going to be a long stream, for those who remember what happens whenever I say it. So let's get into today's episode. What should we do? We'll do a bit of that. Yeah, I know what we're doing now. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let me clear my throat. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 797. And today we're talking about how we can begin to live an abundant life. You see, I think we should have the ability to do so. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm not just talking about the materialistic things, although that could be definitely a part of it. Like, I'm not too concerned about what things are. They can add value, but usually it's about our self-value, which can then utilize it, like higher self-esteem. But anyway, it's talking about being an abundant person in general, because we can be abundant in our finances, but we can also be abundant in our health. We can be abundant in our relationships, our career, our business. There are so many different levels to what abundance is. But we just tend to get tired that it's about financial abundance. Because usually if you get the other stuff, the financial abundance can even come your way. It can actually show up because you have an abundance of self-esteem. You have an abundance of self-certainty in who you are and where you're heading. So one of the things that I like to think about living an abundant life is introducing more aspects into your life, in who you are. So let's just talk about one of the first ones. If you want to live an abundant life, you've got to add more into doing what you want. Now, I don't want to get like, oh yeah, do what you want for a living and all those things, and you'll never work again, which can be true, but it doesn't always have to be that way. Sometimes you're making a living, it gives you the freedom to do what you want. It doesn't mean we've got to have this big, meaningful purpose in our career. Sometimes that can fuel what we do outside of our career to find more meaning and value, whether it be spending time with friends, family, vacations, hobbies. It could be anything. Cooking, anything. So I do like the idea though that we should be introducing more things of doing what you want, because most of the time the way that we have created time, our meaning, our perception of time is very, very scheduled. Monday to Friday, I may go to work. Weekend I do this. 9 a.m. I go here. 5 p.m. I finish work. We start to operate from a needs of a necessity. Like, I need to do this. I have to do this. I'm a father, a mother. We have all these different roles. And therefore we have self-imposed needs. Not to say that those needs are bad, because yeah, we want to be a good father, we want to be a good mother, or a good employee or boss, or whatever it is. But if we come from a place of only need, which I think a lot of people tend to live by, even like, I need to be more confident, I need to have this amount of money, it creates a level of scarcity, a sense of lack, because we don't really have it, or we have to do it. So it's not the healthiest way of living. So when we go, well, I get to do this today, or I'm going to start doing this because this is what I want, you're starting to prioritize your esteem, your values, the things which are important to you, which we rarely do. Most of the time, we're people pleasers, especially if those people who mainly listen to this episode or other episodes. I work with esteem, the imposter syndrome, not feeling good enough, not being worthy, not being deserving, not being capable, not feeling loved, not feeling of importance, all of those things. So if we are in that trap in our mind of not feeling good enough, or just a low self-esteem, we tend to do things that we need to do, or we expect of ourselves for other people. And that's where the people pleasing comes in. So as a conscious wake-up call, I want you to maybe consider, if you don't have anything yet, that's fine, because it can happen. It can take time, because we've been so programmed to be a people pleaser or to not feel worthy. But if we're going to change the relationship with ourselves and our identity, we want to be able to introduce the things that we desire and allow our mind to do what we want. And that means we can enforce certain boundaries at times. Because when you enforce boundaries, some people might not like that. Because if you've been a people pleaser for a long time, or you've had a low self-esteem and therefore maybe bad relationships with narcissists or people taking advantage of you, all of those things, you may get some resistance from the people who have been taking that energy from you. And I'm talking about the not so good people in this case. I'm not talking about the good people. They'll understand if you start to put up some boundaries. But when you start to put up those boundaries by understanding and doing what you want, you're actually enforcing your own esteem that bit more. So wherever it is to do something that you want in your career, in your business, like making your passion, your hobby as a business, is absolutely possible. You want to be able to do that as much as you can by doing what you want, doing the things that you enjoy. But if it's not, in the times that we are working, I think we should really putting our attention to the things that we really desire to do. Otherwise, we're negating our own feelings, and therefore we're putting ourselves down in value in comparison to other people or other things. So make a decision today to start doing what you want in a healthy way, in an ecological way. So good for self, good for others, and good for the world. Therefore, you cannot go wrong, right? If it's good for self, good for others, and good for the world, you are being congruent with growth in this ecosystem of reality. So consider, what is it that you want to do? What have you been neglecting when it comes to your human needs, your desires, the things that you would like to be doing? Once again, when you start to implement it, you're going to start to recognize at an unconscious level, your self-value goes up. And I don't mind if it's just like doing it 10 minutes every single day for a little bit, because that can grow. But if you start to raise your value by doing what you want, you will start to see that esteem rise up. And maybe that will let go of the imposter syndrome. Maybe that will let go of the fear, the worries, and the doubts. But you got to make room for it. You've got to get out the need, and I have to, I've got to, because of these other people's expectations. At the end of the day, life is long, but also it's running out every single moment. So are we going to choose to just live on other people's stories and demands and all those kind of things? Like I said, we're not being mean here. This is about self-healing. This is about self-preservation. This is about understanding your own human needs, because life is precious, as are you. And sometimes when we need to change, have to change, when it comes to raising up our identity of who we are in this world and start implementing the do what you want, maybe it gives other people the opportunity to do things for themselves. As a weird little reframe, when we're a people pleaser, we are actually taking away someone's ability to do something for themselves. Whether they want to do it, whether they're being manipulative or not, you're taking away their responsibility. You're taking away maybe a big aspect of them changing or learning something. So just consider that. It might just reframe you to think, actually, what am I denying them of their experience when I've got to do everything that they want to do? Maybe it'll be their wake-up call, and therefore they'll see you as an example of changing too. So number one, I want us to get into that. Do what you want. Now, the other thing when it comes to living an abundant life, I do honestly believe you should be rewarded magnificently. Now, this could be magnificently with money. I don't mind. But it could be just that inner reward of magnificently knowing who you are. Having so much pleasure and joy. Like, we're almost at episode 800. Now, I have loved every moment of creating the 797 episodes. Has it taken time? Yes. The prep, before, during, after, all those edits, all those kind of things. Not that I do much to editing, but all like the doing stuff of just the free work. But I've enjoyed it. I'm being rewarded magnificently by doing what I love the most. Or when people say they've just got some help from one of my audios, it makes my day. It makes me want to do more. So whether it be financially rewarded, which is no problem, I mean, why not? Think about it. When you have abundance in money, you have an abundance to help people without money. So when you have abundance with money, you have the ability to help people who don't have the abundance of money. Whether it be giving to your family, your friends, community, charities, maybe you can create solutions. Maybe it's about legacy, like passing things down. There's nothing wrong with money. I just think money expands who you are. Now, if you're listening to this track, this free episode, this podcast, this live stream, it's been all broadcasted live on youtube.com/Joseph Clough. If you think about all those types of things of what I get from doing this, when I start to think, how can I be rewarded by the things that I do on a deeper level? Wherever it be money, all of these things, it just fills me up. So ask yourself, if you're doing what you love, is there a level of being how you could be rewarded magnificently? Is it not doing what you love, so it can be separate? Well, how can you find more meaning in maybe helping people? How can you get rewards out of life that serve you at a deeper level? And it could be anything. It could be in a business. It could be as a change maker. We're just running an NLP practitioner and a hypnosis practitioner. And I love that because the ripples go far and wide. I can help people, educate them, certify them, therefore they're working with lots of people. So those ripple effects go beyond what I'm doing. But it's so, so awesome to be a part of it. So what can you do to be rewarded more magnificently, financially, or just on a deeper level? Think about that, because I think that is one of the ideas of living an abundant life, being rewarded magnificently. Now, the third thing to me is getting into a state of gratitude. And I've said this before, but I see gratitude as a gateway, as a step-by-step system of experiencing a deep level of gratitude. Now, the first one is the typical one we always hear, being grateful for what you have. Keyword, what. What we have in our life, right here, right now. There are many people in the world who don't have what you have. They may have bigger problems than what you have. But there's so many people in this world at different circumstances, different situations, different paths, different conclusions, different mindsets, different things. But I think there's always something that we can be grateful for in the what we have. Now, I would hope to think maybe you're still listening after all, that you can be grateful for being able to have some audio to help. And that's just not my podcast. It could be other people's podcasts. There's so much free content out there, YouTube videos. That's something to be grateful for, right? Can you remember when there was no YouTube or podcasts? Like, there's so much more free education. So that could be a level of gratitude, but it could be the things that you're wearing. It could be that you have a roof over your head. It could be that you have the ability to have something to eat, or maybe family, friends, maybe a wonderful pet who just looks at you and adores you and loves you unconditionally. There's so much more to be gratitude for what we have. It's the easiest thing to change our emotional state from scarcity to gratitude. But the next level is the gratitude for who you are. So that's the who. The other one was the what you have. The next level is who you are. That can be very tricky. But if you really think about it, if you wrote down on a piece of paper all the things that you've achieved in your life, all the logical stuff, or looking through the eyes of maybe your best friend or maybe your pet who loves you unconditionally, how do they see you? What attributes would they see that you may not even see in yourself? That is something to be grateful for, because they mean it, they feel it. They might even love it. They might even love you. So even if you don't believe it straight away, when you start to train yourself to have the gratitude for who you are, that's going to really level up how to live an abundant life, because you're grateful for your existence. You're grateful for your essence. And then the third part, so that we've done the what, we've done the who, for who we are. The next one I see is for what is coming our way. And that's why it's like a gateway. That's why it's like, what is easy? Who is a bit trickier. But once we get those, we can be more grateful for what is heading our way. That to me is a real level of gratitude. When you wake up every day and you go, I'm so grateful for what is good is coming my way, in known and unknown ways, in seen ways and unseen ways. I'm just excited to notice what's going to happen for me today. How's the world? It comes from the book, Paulo Coelho. I'm not very good at names. It's even the book The Pilgrimage, or the other one with Santiago. But it's ultimately, the world is conspiring in your favor. Imagine if that was your mentality, that everything in your world is conspiring in your favor. Not in other people's or against you, but it's actually conspiring in your favor. Now, to me, that is a gratitude for what is heading your way. Because you know the universe or God or your unconscious mind, your higher conscious, whatever truth that we have or whatever belief that we have. And that's right. Thank you for the chat. It is in the book, The Alchemist. So as you know, this is being broadcasted live on youtube.com/Joseph Clough. It's the beauty of having the chat right here. So conspiring in your favor, when you're in that place, you're open, you're ready to receive. You're ready to receive what you desire. Whatever you desire even, desires you too. If that's your gratitude, that attitude of gratitude for what you have, who you are, and what is coming your way that you're even unaware of, even the things that you want, you can go, I want this or something better. It's going to allow you to feel more abundant. Because if you have those three levels, you don't feel scarcity. You don't feel that lack, even without the things. So we've discussed today, we've got to add more to doing what you want, getting beyond the needs of necessity, expectations of other people, or what we impose upon ourselves, being rewarded magnificently, whether it be financially so we can serve more people in this world. We can reinvest into our development as being a greater father, mother, son, daughter, community, person in your community. We can do so much with abundance of money, but also just the abundance on the inside. And then we just said about the attitude of gratitude for what we have, who we are, and what is heading our way. And if we kind of combine some of those, being rewarded magnificently, the attitude of gratitude, well, the next effortless next step would be to pay it forward. Now, what does that mean? Pay it forward. Well, it's really doing good for others without an expectation in return. It's very selfish, I think, in fact. Now, you might be thinking, why is doing good for others without expectation in return good? Or how is it selfish, Joseph? Well, because you feel so good doing it. That makes you feel abundant when you serve people without expectation of anything in return. So ask yourself, how can you pay it forward? How can you do something for someone you may know or you may not know? They may not even know that you did it, but you are able to support someone, and it could be anything. Do you know, sometimes, and I talked a while back, like when I get an email when they've stumbled upon my app or podcast in the middle of the night when they were having some very bad thoughts, but they listened to that, that makes my day, and that makes me want to do more free work. Like, I'm going to far surpass, if I'm living long enough for it, far surpass even, over 800 episodes. 900, 1,000. Like, I don't see myself stopping unless something happens to me, right? I want to keep on doing that because that fills me up. That's a bit of my pay it forward. Of course, we can do many other kind of things. But sometimes just a smile to a stranger, a hello, can make feels that so-called strangers connected. Maybe they haven't been seen for a long time. Maybe they've been under a ton of stress. And then when you go ahead and just smile and say, hey, how you doing? That could, not for everyone, but that could mean the world to that person. So no matter how big or small, I really think we should pay it forward. Because you're doing what you want, you are being rewarded, you are the attitude of gratitude and paying it forward without expectation in return. It could be, you see those videos, I'm not all that keen on those viral videos of giving to things, because I don't think you need to just record it. It feels like there's a little bit of a secondary gain on getting popularity or being notorious, whatever the word I'm looking for there, via viral means of helping. So I think there's a little bit of a lack of congruency there. But let's just say you didn't film it and you were able to like pay for someone's Starbucks when a drive-through or the cashier or whatever place you're at and say, I'm going to take their next order payment. Like something small, but that could mean a lot. At the least, let's just think about it. Let's just break it down for a moment. Let's say they're having a hard day or they're not having a hard day, but you do that act of service of paying it forward. What does that do to that person? Well, they want to in turn pay it forward. So now the ripple effects go further than you can imagine. You didn't just help that one person, they in turn change their psychological, emotional state, their physiological state by receiving that thing from you that caused them to show up differently, maybe to their child, differently to that customer, differently to their loved one, differently to another stranger. So we can really expand the transformation by just small, subtle acts of kindness, by just paying it forward. And to me, that feels good. Like I said, I think it's very selfish because you feel so good doing it, right? So I'm only joking there, really. But yeah, paying it forward. And the last thing, which almost summarizes a lot of this, is contribution. What are we contributing to the world? One of the quotes I've always liked is leaving the world a better place that you found it. Now, if we all did that, just think how we level up as a humanity, as being on this spinning ball, all those kind of things, how we just transform everything as we contribute. And it could be through money, because you're abundant, by applying these kind of steps and ideas and philosophies. But it could be contribution through time, for your heart, for your love, for doing something for a stranger. I think when you start to contribute to the world, I think the world contributes back. the law that allows us to receive what we put out there. So I really think if I want to live an abundant life, I want to start doing more of what I want, whether it be as a profession or whether it be in allowing my profession to fuel that, the thing that I like or love, like a hobby. To get rid of those expectations of what society thinks, to start to be rewarded magnificently, because that's your self-value. You value yourself enough to bring that esteem up, to have the attitude of gratitude for what you have, for who you are, and what is heading your way, and to pay it forward from the smallest acts of kindness to big acts of kindness. And then just to really contribute. How can we contribute? No matter how big or small, how can we contribute to leave the world in a better place than we found it? I think that is a bit of a meaningful life. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you got value from it, maybe you'll pay it forward by leaving a review on the App Store. Just go to josephclough.info/review, and therefore I'll just give you the instructions and the direct links to how to write a review. And that could be a small little pay it forward if you have enjoyed this, because that means someone may look at your review and therefore change, and those ripple effects go far and wide if you be so kind. You don't have to. There's lots of things you can do to contribute beyond me asking for a review there. I mean, it's just one of those things. If you'd like to, I'd so be full of gratitude for you in every single way. And with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Of course, if you ever want to apply to work with me, you can go to josephclough.info/talk, and that's where we get to work together on a one-to-one level. So that's josephclough.info/talk. You go ahead and book a time, you attend a one-to-one call with us, and we'll get clear on where you are, where you want to be, what's getting in the way, and we might invite you into our program. There is of course an investment. It's fully customized to your unconscious needs. It's tailored to your future in who you want to become. So with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Shine on, do what you want, be rewarded magnificently, have the attitude of gratitude, pay it forward, and contribute. After all, why not? Okay. So that was episode 797. Done. We did it. I'll even update my notes there from a 7 to an 8, because that'll be the next episode. So I'm just going to quickly scroll back. Thank you for saying it was The Alchemist. Yes, that's the book. Santiago. Has anyone read the book, listened to the book? I like it because Jeremy Irons, I believe, does the audio version, and he does it so good. Santiago. But we got MZ in the house. As I was starting the stream, or the recording of the podcast. And that's right, just started. Good timing, Mina. Med is here as well. Welcome. That was right at the beginning as well of the stream. Thank you, John. What have you been a people pleaser for such a long time? You've forgotten your own needs and values and a sense of what you do enjoy. Well, that's where you get to work on yourself. Most people, for example, I work with, have had their issues for decades, ever since they were a child. Where that I say like 50, 60 years old, that's quite a few decades, right? So if we've been people pleasers so long, we've got to let go of that identity. Remember what I said it like in that mental diagram? Identity dictates our beliefs and our capacity, and therefore our behavior, and therefore our environment. That's what we've got to change, because therefore you don't have the need to people please. You have a high value And therefore, it allows you to see, hear, or feel the kind of things you'd like to do. Thank you, my friend. So pleased, and thank you for helping me. If you mean email-wise, my friend, go to support@josephclough.com. support@josephclough.com. If that's what you mean. If not, let me know in the... we can either let me know what you mean on the email or in the chat as well, depending whatever is comfortable. You are most welcome. Thank you, my friend, for being here. I hope you're feeling better. Right? Because you weren't feeling very well? Or you're tired? I can't remember now. And thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. I enjoy what I do. I'm doing what I want. I am being rewarded magnificently. I am very grateful for what I have, who I am, and what is heading my way. I like to think I pay it forward. Not from ego, but like by doing all the free work. As you know, I'm doing like 7 hour and a half. Let's say it's an hour and a half, 3, 4.5. I'm probably doing about 7 hours of free work a week. It's like a whole day almost, right? Or working day. But I love it. Yeah, because if you add the prep, I was like, that doesn't make sense mathematically. Yeah, but I've got to do all the organizing of the stream, getting it ready, scheduled, thinking of ideas, and all those thumbnails. I need to outsource that, Grim. But thank you for your thanks. So pleased you enjoyed it. You are most welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here as well. Brand new. Most welcome. Pleased to hear it. Glad you hopped on too. I'll get back to work and do the exam. Okay. I think we're done. I've been speaking for 1 hour and 6 minutes. I think that's going to be a good episode to put out. Sorry, I forgot to mute myself. Because I've been teaching all weekend, I'm speaking a lot. So I'm... if you notice, I wasn't wearing my ring because it was on charge. I got notified it's on charge. Have you ever seen these rings? Have you? Look at that. Look at that. Can you see? And it does all the measurements of the heart and everything. So... Exactly. I was actually saying this in a training. I don't know if it's this weekend or the other weekend, but if there's someone in the service industry who's just having a bad time, it is my mission to pen them in with love. That's my mission. And when I've gone to see the same person, I've seen them gradually change over time, and they kind of like come to say, oh, hey, welcome back, and all those kind of things. So yeah, it's my mission to be able to do that. In obviously a genuine way, not in like a fake way, but like to really thank them. Because people are more likely, and I say this about like in general for like reviews, like even when I saw about my app reviews, people are less likely to put positive reviews in for people, whether it be in person or whether it be on businesses or Yelp or whatever, TripAdvisor, they usually put in negative ones. Not, thankfully my app doesn't really have too many negative, unless you don't like my voice, which is fine, or there's a tech issue, which is fine, and I always try to solve them, investing into it to solve them. But most people are likely to complain than to lift up. So when you lift up and compliment genuinely to someone, it could be one thing that they haven't heard for a long time. So I think that's very, very true and important. Yeah. Get to the test, exam. Most welcome. I love it, Lynn. Attitude of gratitude. Most welcome, Rosella. Great to have you here. Thank you. Appreciate that, my friend. Always happy to help if I can. And like I said, it's very selfish of me because I enjoy it. And good evening to you, my friend. Yep. So it's the training we're just running. That's the test. So I've got some marking to do next weekend while I'm teaching. While you're in your exercises, I'll be reviewing all the test exam results. Pass or fail? What shall it be? Pass or fail? Pass or fail? I pass. We'll pass. The test is for the teacher. Don't you find that? I think that's true. I like when someone said tests are for how good you're teaching. Right? If they're not passing the test, well, who's at fault? Is it the person only? Or is it the teacher? I think it's the teacher's fault. So, tests are feedback for the teacher. If that makes sense. You have a most wonderful day, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. We'll see. Pass with flying colors. Well, thank you all for being here on this live stream. I will be back on Wednesday. And we're doing a hypnosis session on calmness. Instant calm. Imagine if you just let go of your stresses in minutes. Well, that's my intention. So join me on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. on the East Coast, 11 p.m. in the United Kingdom. And also, if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a comment maybe after the show. Help the algorithm. And that's right. Hypnosis Wednesday. Hypnosis Wednesday. I always want to do it on Tuesday or Thursday because then you can call it Trance Tuesday. Or Trance Thursday. But Hypno Wednesday. Hypnosis Wednesday even. Mr. Cuddles, what are you talking about? Mr. Cuddles, the cat, is saying, I've got to get off stream. He said, you've done enough. Stop it. Quit it. I need attention now. So thank you all once again. You have the most wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Many thanks and good. Press the right button. Many thanks and goodbye.